When awakening feels lonely, navigating the space between who you were and who you're becoming. One of the quiet phases of awakening that no one really prepares you for is loneliness. Not the kind that comes from being physically alone, but the kind that comes from seeing differently. You start noticing conversations that no longer energize you, habits that don't resonate anymore, environments that feel loud even when they're silent. And for a moment, it can feel like you're standing in between worlds, not who you were, not fully who you're becoming, just in between. Today, we're talking about that space, the loneliness that can arise after awakening, why it happens, why it's not a mistake, and how to move through it without isolating yourself from life. Welcome back to the I Am Experience, where awakening becomes embodied, not abstract. In this episode of Living as the I Am, we're exploring what it means to feel alone without being separate. Awakening changes your internal landscape. Your nervous system begins regulating, your reactivity softens, your interests evolve, your tolerance for chaos shifts, but the external world often stays the same. Friends still vent the same way, family members repeat the same patterns, workplace dynamics continue, and you find yourself observing instead of participating the way you used to. That gap can feel lonely, but here's what's important. Loneliness after awakening is not a punishment, it's integration. You're recalibrating. When identity loosens, the old anchors fall away, the roles you played, the dynamics you maintained, the emotional exchanges you were used to. And before new connections align, there's space. Space can feel like loss if you don't understand it, but space is also where alignment enters. Now here's something that isn't talked about enough. After awakening, there will be moments when you need to take action before you feel like it. This shows up especially in social situations. You may sit in a conversation and think, this is pointless. This adds no value. This is small talk. I don't want to be here. And the temptation is to check out, to withdraw internally, to label it unconscious, to detach. But awareness is not avoidance. Sometimes growth means choosing to participate, even when your ego wants to retreat. Not in every situation, not at the expense of your boundaries, but carefully, consciously. You still live in a human world. Relationships require presence. If you withdraw from every conversation that doesn't stimulate you spiritually, you won't just protect your energy, you'll isolate yourself. Awakening doesn't remove the need for connection. It refines how you engage. There is wisdom in choosing your environments. There is maturity in adjusting your expectations. There is balance in knowing this may not be profound, but it keeps me connected. Participation doesn't mean losing awareness. It means integrating it. Sometimes you show up because relationships matter, because shared laughter matters, because being seen in ordinary moments matters. Waiting to feel like engaging is not always the move. Sometimes you act first, and connection follows. There is still discernment here. Not every space deserves your presence. Not every dynamic needs your energy. But if you withdraw from everything that isn't aligned with your highest awareness, loneliness will grow. Balance is knowing when to step back and when to lean in. Awakening isn't floating above life. It's participating consciously. There is a temptation in this phase to label others as asleep, to feel misunderstood, to disconnect preemptively. This is subtle ego again, protecting itself through isolation. True awareness does not harden, it softens. Loneliness becomes suffering only when we resist it or turn it into identity. I am alone. I don't fit anywhere. No one understands. Notice how quickly the mind builds a story. Awareness doesn't build stories, it witnesses them. Here's something grounding. You are not meant to relate to everyone deeply. As you regulate, your nervous system seeks resonance, not intensity. Old bonds built on shared trauma may feel empty. Old humor built on avoidance may feel uncomfortable. This doesn't mean you've outgrown people. It means your baseline has shifted, and resonance takes time to reorganize. So what do you do in this in-between space? First, stay engaged with life, even when it feels ordinary, even when it feels small. Loneliness deepens when we withdraw from participation. Continue simple connections. Coffee with friends, walks, family dinners, shared hobbies. You don't need every moment to be profound. You just need to remain present. Presence builds bridges without forcing alignment. Second, build inner companionship, meditation, journaling, time in nature, body movement, not as escape, but as relationship. When you are anchored internally, solitude feels full, not empty. Third, allow new connections to form naturally. When you stop performing old versions of yourself, new resonance appears, but you cannot rush this. Alignment unfolds when you stay authentic, without broadcasting superiority. If this resonated, comment below. I trust this space. And if you're navigating this in-between phase, stay with me. In the next experience, we're talking about how to rebuild community after awakening without losing yourself. Remember, loneliness is not proof you are separate. It is proof you are shifting. Sometimes you rest, sometimes you lean in, sometimes you participate before you feel ready. That's balance. Stay present, stay compassionate, stay awake. You are not leaving the world. You are learning how to belong to it consciously. You are the I am.